Picture this: a millionaire steps into a dusty construction site, his polished shoes sinking into the mud when his eyes lock onto a worker, a young woman who could be the ghost of his long-lost daughter. Her face stops him cold, unraveling a wound he's buried for years. What if the person you thought you'd lost forever was standing right in front of you? Hold tight, because this story of heartbreak, hope, and second chances will grip your soul. If it moves you, smash that like button and subscribe for more tales that remind us life can surprise us when we least expect it. Let's dive in. James Harrington, a 58-year-old real estate tycoon, stood on the edge of a sprawling construction site in Philadelphia, his tailored suit out of place among the clanging steel and whirring drills. His empire of luxury condos and hotels had made him a household name, but wealth couldn't fill the void that had haunted him for 15 years. His daughter Emily vanished at age 10 during a family vacation. A carefree day at a crowded beach turned nightmare when she slipped away in the chaos. Despite years of searches, private investigators, and tear-soaked nights, no trace was ever found. James's wife, Laura, crumbled under the grief, leaving him 5 years later. Now he was a man of steel on the outside, but inside, every day was a battle to keep moving forward. The site was for his latest project, a community center meant to honor Emily's love for art. James visited weekly not just to check progress but to feel closer to her memory. That chilly October morning, as he inspected the half-built walls, a young worker in a hard hat caught his eye. She was hauling a stack of wooden planks, her movements steady but weary. Her face, framed by dark curls escaping her helmet, was eerily familiar. The same heart-shaped jaw, the same hazel eyes that sparkled like Emily's when she'd painted her first canvas. James froze, his breath catching. It couldn't be, could it? The worker, 25-year-old Mia Carter, felt his stare and glanced up, wiping sweat from her brow. She was used to being invisible. Construction was a man's world, and as one of the few women on the crew, she kept her head down. Raised in foster care after being abandoned at a fire station as a baby, Mia had clawed her way through life. She'd bounced between homes, faced bullying for her quiet nature, and worked odd jobs to survive. Now she poured her heart into this job, saving for night classes in graphic design. Art was her escape, a way to make sense of a past she couldn't remember. James's heart pounded as he approached, his usual confidence replaced by a tremor in his voice. "Excuse me, miss, what's your name?" Mia frowned, sensing his intensity. Mia Carter, why?" Her voice was soft but guarded. James stammered, You look like someone I knew." Mia shrugged, assuming he was just another rich guy acting strange, but James couldn't let it go. He asked her to join him for coffee after her shift, promising it wasn't a ploy. Reluctantly, she agreed, curious despite herself. At a nearby diner, James shared his story over steaming mugs. He spoke of Emily, her laugh, her love for sketching seagulls, the way she'd vanished without a trace. Mia listened, her tough exterior softening. She'd never known her parents, only that she'd been left with a blanket and a locket she still wore, engraved with a tiny star. James's eyes widened at the description. Emily had a locket just like it, a gift from Laura. "Can I see it?" he asked, voice barely a whisper. Mia hesitated, then pulled it from under her shirt. The star gleamed under the diner's fluorescent lights. James's hands shook. That was hers. The revelation sparked a whirlwind of emotions. Mia felt a mix of hope and fear. Could this man be her father? James was torn between disbelief and a desperate need to know. But challenges loomed. Mia's life had taught her to trust no one. She'd been burned by false promises before. "People don't just find long-lost kids," she said, pulling back. "This sounds like a fairy tale, and I don't believe in those." James, too, faced doubts. What if he was chasing a ghost, setting himself up for more pain? His board of directors, already skeptical of his sentimental community center, warned him against distractions. "Focus on the business, James," they urged. Determined, James proposed a DNA test, offering to cover all costs. Mia agreed, but only if they kept it private. The wait was agonizing, 2 weeks of sleepless nights for both. James revisited old photos of Emily, his heart aching at the similarities. Mia, meanwhile, grappled with her identity. She'd built a life on being self-reliant. What would it mean to have a family? Her coworkers noticed her distraction, one cruelly joking, "What, you think you're secretly a princess now?" The taunt stung, echoing her childhood fears of not belonging. When the results came, they sat together in a quiet lawyer's office. The envelope trembled in James's hands. Positive, Mia was Emily. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered, "I never stopped looking for you." Mia, overwhelmed, couldn't speak. She'd spent years imagining parents who didn't want her. Now here was a father who'd never given up. But the reunion wasn't a neat fairy tale. Mia struggled to reconcile her gritty life with James's world of penthouses and power. "I'm not your little girl anymore," she told him. "I don't know how to be Emily." The next challenge was rebuilding a bond across a 15-year chasm. James invited Mia to his home, a sleek mansion that felt alien to her. She saw Emily's room, preserved like a shrine, crayon drawings still pinned to the walls. It was too much. Mia fled, overwhelmed. James, heartbroken but persistent, gave her space, sending small gestures, a sketchbook, a note about Emily's favorite colors. Mia, touched, began opening up, sharing her own art. They met weekly at the construction site, talking over lunch breaks. James learned about Mia's resilience, how she'd taught herself to draw, survived foster homes, and fought for respect on the job. Mia saw James's vulnerability, his guilt for failing to protect her. Another hurdle emerged: Laura, James's ex-wife. He tracked her down, now living quietly in Maine. When told about Mia, Laura was skeptical, scarred by years of false leads. Their reunion was tense. Laura saw Emily in Mia's face but feared another loss. "I can't lose her twice," she said. Mia too was wary, unsure if she could handle a mother's expectations. Slowly, through shared stories and tears, they began to heal. Laura joined Mia's art classes, marveling at her talent, while Mia found solace in Laura's quiet strength. The community center's grand opening became their turning point. Mia, now studying design full-time with James's support, had created murals for the building, vibrant seagulls soaring across the walls, a nod to Emily's childhood. At the event, James gave a speech, his voice breaking. "This center is for second chances, for everyone who's been lost and found." Mia, standing beside him, added, "I was lost, but I found myself. And then I found you." The crowd erupted, many wiping tears. Yet life wasn't perfect. Mia faced online trolls questioning her story, calling her a gold digger. She countered by sharing her art on social media, turning hate into inspiration. James, too, shifted his empire's focus, funding more community projects. Together, they faced the world not as a fairy tale family, but as real people rebuilding trust. As the sun set over the center, James and Mia stood by the murals. "You're not just Emily," he said. "You're Mia, and I'm proud of you." She smiled, clutching her locket. "I'm proud to be both." Their journey taught them and us that love can find a way even through years of pain. So, dear viewer, what's your second chance? Maybe it's a dream, a relationship, or forgiving yourself. If this story stirred your heart, hit that like button. It helps share this hope. Subscribe for more stories of resilience and comment, "What's a moment you reclaimed something lost?" Let's inspire each other. Until next time, believe in second chances. You're never too far gone.